and welcome to BSing Insurance. My name is Stephanie.
And I'm Brian.
And we are so glad you found us.
Welcome. We're here to BS some insurance.
Yes. We're hoping to be your gateway to everything you need to know to conquer this business.
We're like a gateway drug, almost.
Gateway drug.
Yeah.
We're your besties from Florida is what we are. We want to be.
Florida loves drugs.
Okay.
I'm going to have to cut that part out later.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, today we're talking about branding. Do you really know what branding means?
I think that branding means making everything look the same. What's that mean to you?
I mean, yes, but there's so much more to it.
I got a feeling you're about to elaborate.
Yes. Well, branding to me means that you are known, other people in the industry and your community know you. They know exactly what you do, and you are the first thing that comes to their mind.
Interesting. So what's the first step with that?
Well, first step, make sure you have a logo. Make sure you have a website. Make sure you have all these places for people to find you. And the best place for people to find you is the internet, because everyone's using the internet.
That is where everybody's going. Logo, you're right off the bat. What do you think is a good choice for a logo? Is there any thing that you like about one or anything like that?
I mean, with Canva today and Acrobat Studios and everything else out there, I mean, there's so many ways for people to make logos, but I do see a lot of logos that look exactly like other logos.
Because they're all coming from Canva.
Because they're all coming from Canva's free program. So be careful, guys. Be careful that you don't do that.
Yeah, I think the important thing is to differentiate just a little bit, right? When I came up with our logo, well, you came up with the original idea for it, and then I modified it a little bit.
Yep.
And you did it on Canva originally?
I did. I took the idea from Canva and then I added a bunch of things to it.
And then I definitely liked the way it originally turned out. And then I went into Adobe Acrobat and modified a couple things, making some of the lines a little bit different, changed the font and the alignment just a smidgen. And it turned out pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And making sure you're using that, you're putting that on your business cards. If you have an agency, you're having your agents use it. You use it on your website, you use it on your social medias, and, everyone gets familiar with your logo.
You're right. That's the thing. Like that logo you want to put on just about everything. Like think about the major brands that you recognize, right? If you just see a blue oval with a white line around it, right? What does that immediately say to you?
I have no idea.
Ford Motor Company, right? A blue oval. The blue oval.
Ford. Okay. Yes, of course. Everyone thinks of Ford Motor Company.
When you think of blue oval, if you think of anything about cars, you're thinking about Ford, right?
What about a check mark?
A check mark, Winn-Dixie.
Nike.
Oh, that's a swoosh. You got to say a swoosh.
A swoosh? Oh my gosh, this is not going so well, guys. This is not going so well. Never mind. Don't worry about branding. Forget about it all. Have a great day.
It turns out different, trademarks mean different things to different people.
Yes.
So a check mark could be a swoosh from Nike, or it could be a check mark for Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win.
Guys, if you don't know what Winn-Dixie is the grocery store in the South. I actually call it Dirty Dixie because it smells bad. At
we're
least
gonna
the
have
ones
to cut
around
that part
here.
out. We're gonna.
No, there's some really good Winn-Dixies out there, but the ones in our area were Dirty Dixie. Another Aldi. So.
I will say, I went into Winn-Dixie the other day to buy some cookies before a meet, and those cookies got me some clients. So it's a win-win for Winn-Dixie.
For your cookies.
Yeah.
No, branding to me is, are you Googleable?
Right.
And, I've had a couple of situations this week alone where I was trying to find other insurance agents and I could not search them. I couldn't find them on Google. I couldn't find them on Facebook. I couldn't find them on TikTok. I couldn't find them on YouTube. I literally could not find them, even with their name, because they don't have a huge following yet. And they weren't keeping things consistent. So one thing about us is if you go to SBG Insurance, which is our insurance agency, you will have the same handle everywhere you go online. TikTok, SBG Insurance. Instagram, SBG Insurance. Facebook, SBG Insurance. We are just the same name. So make sure you stick with a name.
This podcast,
BSing Insurance. So that is something we're trying to keep separate, obviously, right? But I'm talking about the branding of the agency. So, make sure you are Googleable. Make sure that you have that consistent name, or you're not using a bunch of different handles, because people who are just learning who you are aren't going to know you by 3 different names. They're only going to know you by that name. So that is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. And then you got to figure out where your market is. A lot of agents try to be nationwide, which is great. But I really do believe that agents in the beginning should be really working about their local market. They should, I know for me, in the last 13, 14 years, I have gotten referrals outside of my local market, but I really honestly sell pretty much in the hour around me. Just because I do in-home appointments, and that's just how it's always been. So if you will start thinking about where you want to be, just start with your local community. Start with your local community. If your local community is small, think about your local community and the closest communities around you and go with that. And really, really center in and focus in when you do your ads, when you are pushing things out onto social media, your hashtags, everything like that.
Hashtag.
Lots of hashtags. You guys got to really learn that. If you need to learn by going to YouTube, by doing podcasts like this, there is so much information out there. You do not need to necessarily hire somebody to do this all for you, but it's all about consistency. And that's what I tell our agents. All my agents know that step number 1 of contracting with us is start your digital brand. And I give them the steps of how to start their digital brand. And how many of them don't do that?
Right.
A lot of agents don't do that. And it's really not that hard. I understand that I have a working knowledge, but I don't have a digital marketing degree. I don't have a business degree. I never even took a computer class in college.
I did. So we're covered there.
But he doesn't do the social media.
I do some of it.
I learned it by actually my personal TikToks, my personal Facebooks. And we have some really close friends that are very big on social media and internet marketing and podcasting. And
so we stole their ideas.
We did not steal their ideas, but we did learn from others. So go out there and find the people. I know most people on here, you're guilty of scrolling through TikTok or Instagram Reels or Facebook, right? So get off the food TikToks and get onto the professional TikToks and start learning something. Mm-hmm. It is just as fun and is just as addicting and is just as mind clearing than any of the other ones. And you're actually learning, and you're going to learn how to build your business better. So there's my TED Talk for the day. Go do it.
Yeah.
Get off your butt and stop saying I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Exactly. And I think, we kind of started with the logo, and that is the takeoff point for everything else, right? You want your colors to all be killers. Sorry, I'm from Pittsburgh, guys, so it's killers. You want them all to be, similar. You want the same colors across your platform, your marketing platforms. Like with our logo, we use a specific shade of pink, and I try to put that into almost everything that we put up. Like it's on there someplace.
Yes.
Across the website, across the podcast website, on our Facebook page. If we put something on Twitter or X, it's got that pink in there someplace, or a link to something that has that in there. Using the same fonts, that font family that people will see and recognize as part of your business.
Yes.
So that is another part of like the whole branding thing, on top of just getting out there, right? So just getting out there, you hit it right off the bat with Google and with Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But what is the way that you really got started in that?
Personal pages.
Yeah.
My personal pages. Yep.
And just linking from the personal to the business page,
the business.
Right?
So I tell agents to make a side page. Now, let me just step back for a minute. And there are some agencies out there that do not want their agents doing this.
Yeah. So follow your agency's rules. And if they say don't do social media, find another one.
I disagree with the stance of not allowing your agents to do social media. We have brought on board just recently like 2 agents that were told that they couldn't do any social media and they got their hands slapped, and they're like selling like crazy, and that agency just lost them. So if you are an agency owner and you have that position, ask yourself why.
I know why. Because it's easy to get in trouble.
I
There
mean,
are so many rules.
There's so many rules, but it's so easy just to put stuff out there. We don't need to be talking about brand specifics. We don't need to be talking about product specifics, but we just want people to know that we're there. People buy from us. They don't buy from XYZ company. They buy from Joe Schmo's Insurance because they like Joe Schmo, because he comes over and he comes to your house and reviews your insurance every year.
You can advertise yourself as an insurance agent that does marketplace insurance or health insurance or Medicare insurance or life insurance without putting out there any sort of brand or any sort of company except for your own personal information and maybe the agency you work for if you do work for an agency.
Yes. And I tell our agents that they don't necessarily have to use our agency logo, but most of them do. We actually have a couple agents that we have an agency like template for business cards, but I don't make the agents follow that. I do ask to review their business cards before they print them.
It's got to be compliant.
But like we have one agent that is a female and a mom and 20 something, and she took our pink and she just vomited it all over her business cards, and it looks so good. Like it looks amazing. It is a girly girl card. Now I could not see Brian carrying cards like that.
I could.
No, I feel like you would, your man card would go away if you did that. But, again, branding.
Well, the important thing with that for her, like her goal is to eventually move on and create her own brand.
Yes.
Right? And so in order to do that, you start early. You don't want to have to change your logo. You don't want to have to change all this kind of stuff halfway down the line. If you get it right the first time, you don't have to redo it. And the cool thing about that for us is like she's using our colors. She's using our font scheme. So when somebody sees that, they may not know it, but they're also seeing our stuff.
Yes. And we are a little different, like unlike the other agencies, is that we have a path for agency ownership in our agency. Not SBG insurance ownership, but ownership of their own agency. So when we bring an agent in, that is their end prize. Their end game is to be building their own agency. So they have that decision. Do I start branding from day one, or do I wait till I open up my own agency? I think if you can start from day one, you're going to be a heck of a lot better. But I didn't start from day one because I wasn't allowed. So, things to think about, right? Things to think about where we're going to be in the next 5 years.
So next thing you hit on, like the website. Maybe I should take this one because I kind of handle more of that stuff for us. But there are plenty of options out there to do a website for $free or almost $free. You can do so many things. Like really, we have our website, right? sbginsurancegroup.com, bsinginsurance.com. Like making those websites is free. You can do all those things with WordPress or any of the other website creating platforms and make a professional looking website without any dollars whatsoever. Just your time. The time you take to do it, the time you take to learn it. And if you have nothing but time, your time is not that valuable yet. So you can definitely get it done.
And YouTube is there. I've learned so much from YouTube. I really have.
Yep. You can learn just about anything you want on YouTube or with a quick Google search. It's there. The information is there out there. ChatGPT is great. Whenever I was working on some of the website stuff like ChatGPT, how do I do this? And it will tell you. So, those things are out there. Those things are there for you. Hosting, on the other hand, right? Hosting and that domain name, you may have to pay for that, especially if you want something quality. But still, for like a couple dollars a month, a domain name is like on GoDaddy. I think you can get it free for the first year. And then after that, it's like between $12 and $25, depending on where you go. Hosting, you should be able to host a website on your own. Like $10 a month, maybe. So really, what is that? That's like one renewal, and that's covering your website hosting.
Yep.
For us, we pay for a little bit higher hosting level. So we actually host our agents' websites for free because I can host as many websites as I want on the platform that I use. So that might also be an option for you too. Check with your upline and see if they offer you a website hosting.
Yep.
Now, I will say this. Our upline does have free branded websites available. They are not 100% customizable, but they're a website, and it's a place to put yourself out there on the internet. So even that could be an option for you.
Yep. Especially just starting out too.
Yep.
Starting out. There's a lot of options. Mm-hmm. There really is. But what it means for you is to take some extra steps, right?
Right.
Take some extra steps. That downtime that you normally have, why not on really trying to build a social media?
Exactly.
Like it's really all can be done by your iPhone.
Well, and you just hit the next point, right? Like, God, websites are so complicated. I don't want to learn how to use WordPress hosting. What the heck does that even mean, right? What does that leave me with? Well, it leaves you with a Facebook page, which is still a web presence, right? The important thing with that is to customize your Facebook URL. So it's not facebook.com/XY45333345Q, right?
Yes.
Facebook.com/BSing
our Medicare insurance.
Our Medicare insurance.
Is what ours is.
Or BSing the insurance, the podcast, or insert your insurance handle here. It's probably still available unless it's something relatively generic, right?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
out there. So while it's not a complete website, it's a place for people to go to see your presence.
Yes. And you can continuously Google yourself, Google your full name, insurance, and see what comes up, right?
Especially in your local area.
Especially in your local area.
If you're not seeing your results in your local area, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. I know when I Google myself, I've got 2 full pages of just insurance stuff. I have my social medias. I have our website. I have that we are members of the Chamber of Commerce. I have my LinkedIn page. Like I have all of that. And it comes up. So if I meet John at Publix in the checkout line, and I give him a business card, John goes and Googles my name, and John's going to see that, oh, this girl's legit. Like, she's legit. Like, I can pull up her bio. I can see this. I can see that. I can see she's been a member of the community. Like there is no doubt that I am authentic and I am a professional when you Google my name.
Right.
And you all need to be that way.
And part of that is controlling what is put out there as well, right? Obviously, you're going to use your more correct information on your LinkedIn page, on your personal or on your business Facebook page. Like you're going to use your name and your information. If you happen to have some information on some of the less savory websites, maybe make sure that's not actually associated with your real personality, because you don't want that coming up either. So
yeah, and Google reviews and think about the type of human you are, right? What was the thing that they said on the call the other day? You're talking about giving grace to people and...
Oh, we give grace to ourselves based off of our intentions, or we judge other people we judge ourselves on our intentions, and we judge others on their actions.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think that you had the best interest of your, whatever, if you think you're doing things for the right reason and it ends up going wrong, you're going to give yourself grace for that. You're not going to really come down as hard on yourself for that as you're going to come down on somebody else who might have done those exact same things for the exact same reason that had the same outcome.
So I asked him about this because I see a lot of people having negative reviews online, and when you your name, and if you have Google and you have a personal account and you have reviews, that shows up too, guys. Right. All of that shows up too, right? Yeah. So it's okay to leave negative reviews on businesses if they really truly deserve it. But let's be careful and let's become aware that this is all public information. And would you want your clients to see what you write?
If you put it on the internet, it's there forever.
Trust me, I still have some negative reviews of some companies out there. We had a towing company that left us on the side of the road for 4 hours after an accident. Like that negative review is staying up forever, literally. But do you really need to leave the negative review to the mom and pop restaurant that messed up your order? Or do you need to leave the review on, the tire place because they ordered you wrong tires, right? I see so many stupid reviews out there. Honestly.
No offense to the proverbial real Karens, but don't come across as a proverbial Karen, right? Yes. If you come across as an asshole, nobody's going to want to work with you.
Bleep. Bleep, bleep.
I can
Words,
say
words.
this is our podcast. I can say that.
Yeah, so just be aware when you're trying to build your brand and build your website presence. Be aware of what you look like, what you sound like, what you are preaching, right? If you want to keep politics out of your business, don't write political stuff online. Don't put up political TikToks. If you want to be up politics and you really want to be that part of your brand, then go right ahead. But just remember that everyone can see what you do. So just make sure like whatever you put up there, you wouldn't mind your last client seeing.
Especially like Facebook gives you a little bit more privacy controls. Twitter, not so much, right? If you put something on Twitter.
I don't use Twitter.
Brian
uses
out
our
there.
Twitter.
And the one thing about it is really Reddit. Right. So if you put something
Brian's
on
Reddit all over.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you click on somebody's user profile through Reddit, like if they comment on a post or, whatever, you can click down and you can see literally everything that they've ever posted that hasn't been deleted.
Ooh.
So there's been times where I'm like, hey, this person makes a good point. Or this guy sounds stupid. Let me see what he's really about. Click on his username, click on this. Yeah, I can't take any. Either this guy's got some things going on that are broken, or I can't take anything that they say seriously. I'm not sure. Oh, and then also there's stuff on there like, hey, this guy really knows what he's talking about. Everything that he's saying is, on point. Maybe this is somebody I need to listen to, right? That's all branding. Mm-hmm. Don't use your same account that you use for things for putting your professional stuff out there.
Yeah, just be aware. I'm gonna call out there's some boards on Facebook. There are some specific boards that are tailored around life insurance agents that I've had to literally block some life insurance agents because they are just so rude. They're just so unprofessional, and they, I guess, supposedly have quote unquote big teams under them or whatever, but like, I would be embarrassed to say I work with that guy. And no offense, but it's mainly dudes on that board.
Yeah.
But also, you're on those boards. Don't get in catfights. Don't get sarcastic. Just if you have something to add that is informative, educational, or you have a question, by all means, post things on the Facebook boards and things like that. But don't get caught up in the rat race because there's a lot of agents out there that just want to bring you down and smash you, and then you just want to comment back and be like "Drrr," and blankety blank blank blank. But you can't. You really can't, because that's all part of your online footprint that people can see.
And that actually even kind of goes offline. Like, don't put something in your online footprint that is going to turn a client off, right?
Yes.
You may really feel strongly about X political position, but there is no shortage of people out there that have that exact opposite opinion.
Yes.
And you want their dollars too. Their dollars spent exactly the same as your dollars. Don't turn them away.
Yes.
Don't turn them off just because they've seen something on your Facebook page that says, I like whatever here. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Their dollars are going to spend exactly the same as everybody else's. Don't turn them off.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a time we went to a client's house and he said things that were personally insulting to me.
I know exactly who
Within
you're
minutes
about.
of us walking through the door, he had no idea he did it.
Yeah.
And old Brian would have been like, we're leaving. And this is not... But
well, you told me after the meeting, like I almost got up and walked
I
away.
was within seconds of getting up and walking away. And
I'm used to this,
I tried to change the conversation and move it away, and the guy would not come off of it. But also his dollars spend the same, and I have bills I got to pay too. So, $20 is $20.
The gentleman was very anti-police, and if you guys have been on our podcast at all, Brian is a former law enforcement retired. Yay!
Yeah.
And while we know, police are not perfect, and people in every industry like our own are not perfect.
There's bad people everywhere. I get it.
This guy just wanted to go rant and use certain words, and I was my main focus was get in, let's get the Medicare, because it was a Medicare appointment, and let's get the heck out of here. And that's what we did. It was a pretty quick appointment.
And when you're face to face with somebody, like, at that point it is, generally people have a little more tact.
Yes.
Like you are able to say, hey, this is just business, whatever. We're going to get out of here in 30 minutes. I never have to really deal with this person again because I'm not answering his phone call.
I know. I'll deal with him.
But, when you're online and you see something like that, screw it. It's easier just to go on to the next guy. Like, why even deal?
Yeah.
You know, so just don't put things out there that are going to cause that kind of drama for your potential clients.
And I just thought about this. I wasn't going to talk about it, but reviews. Okay. So hopefully everybody gets 5-star reviews, right? We all want 5-star reviews. But what if somebody doesn't give you the best of reviews? How do you tackle that?
You
and
call
this is
them
part
an
of your
idiot in,
branding.
No. Don't do that.
A, you can ignore it, or B, you can, politely. What I've
flag
seen,
it for an inappropriate comment.
What I've seen recently, and I really like it, is due to HIPAA, we cannot enclose any details of your blah 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 blah. We're so sorry you feel that way. We hope you have a better service experience in the future, something like that, right? So just make sure that, don't take anything personal to heart when it comes to your business. It is really, really personal. I get that. I've been there a couple times. Right now we have a family member of a client that is thinking that like we should be paying their bills for them. There's no shortage of morons out there. Yeah. There is no shortage. Just don't react to them. Don't react to them. Ignore them or be very professional about it. Tact, right? So
definitely don't come up with a burner account and get online and call that guy a crazy whatever.
No.
Don't do that.
What?
Unethical life pro tips.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm sure everyone else has some other branding ideas. If you do, if you're on YouTube, go comment, and I would love to hear them.
Yeah, send us an email if you got an idea, you got a comment on one of these things.
Share them. What email should they be sending anything to?
Admin, sbginsurancegroup.com.
Admin at sbginsurancegroup.com.
That's us. We're the admin.
We would love to hear from you. Hey, if you are following us on YouTube or if you are on one of the podcast platforms, hit that follow and subscribe to us so that way you can be updated with all of our new podcasts that are coming out. And let us know what you'd like to hear and what you like. And hey, you know what? We can take it. Tell us what you don't like too.
Yeah,
nicely,
respectfully. Because remember, if it's on the internet, it's there forever. So... SBGInsuranceGroup.com, BSing the Insurance, the podcast.com is our websites.
BSing Insurance is on Facebook and SBG Insurance on Facebook. And we're on TikTok, SBG Insurance.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Bye.